Hi guys, welcome to Vegan Booty Talks, and I have a special guest with me today. She's a vegan blogger, influencer, and the face behind HealthyGirl Kitchen with over 1 million social media followers. She shares easy plants-based recipes that actually taste good and will make your life fall in love with vegan food and taking care of yourself. Welcome to the podcast, Danielle Brown. Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm good. It's been a busy day of editing recipe videos, thinking about and brainstorming new recipes to make. That's pretty much my life, cooking, cleaning, and then posting on social media. So it was a good day, but excited to talk to you.
Awesome. Love it. And this is all we're going to talk about. But before we get into the topics I get ready for you, can you please tell a little more for our listeners where you're from and what do you do for a living?
So I am actually from Michigan. I grew up in Michigan. That's where my family still is. But I recently moved to Florida. Well, I guess 3 years ago, but it still feels recent to me. 3 years ago, I moved to Boca Raton, Florida, and I live with my husband now, Ari. We live walking distance to the beach. We're in downtown Boca, and it's so nice because growing up in Michigan, it was freezing and I hated the cold. I never, ever wanted to spend another winter like shoveling the driveway or scraping the snow off my car. So we decided to move, and I am a full-time vegan food blogger and content creator. So I am the founder of Healthy Girl Kitchen, where I share easy plant-based recipes that both vegans and meat eaters can make. Like, I love the vegans who follow me, but if you are someone who's not totally vegan yet, I even say if you find my social media and even just make one plant-based meal a day by finding my videos and my recipes, that's amazing. So that's what I do. I share easy vegan recipes on Instagram, TikTok, and yeah, and I love it. I never intended to do this as a career. I had no idea you could even make money as a content creator or food blogger. And yeah, I'm thankful every day to be living my dream.
That's awesome. And yes, this is what I love about you, that you always say that you shouldn't be vegan to try my recipes. And this is open to everyone. That's so good. But how you actually find out about veganism in the first place and how long you were vegan?
So I've been vegan for the past 6.5 years. I was actually vegetarian in high school, but I was a total junk food vegetarian. So I ate mac and cheese and pizza and everything that wasn't good for you. I definitely wasn't healthy at that point. I wasn't thinking about being healthy. And I honestly just thought vegans were hippies who smoked weed all day. I honestly didn't think that you could eat a diet without animal products because I grew up in a family who ate meat all the time, fish, eggs, dairy. I mean, my mom always included animal products in the food she made growing up. So I never really thought about veganism. But yeah, I was vegetarian in high school for 2 years. And then I met my now husband, but he wasn't vegan at the time. And he was a little bit of a bad influence on me. And I remember I broke my vegetarianism on chicken tenders while we were out in New York City at some random restaurant. So it wasn't until my freshman year of college that I actually found veganism. I was eating really unhealthy. I was, you know how college is, you're drinking with your friends, you're eating late night food when you get home from a party. I went to Michigan State University in Michigan, and they're known for their dining halls, and their dining halls almost look like a mall food court. They have everything you can imagine, from all you can eat pasta, all you can eat pizza, unlimited desserts. And I went crazy because you obviously don't have your parents telling you what to do. So that was so much fun, just eating whatever I wanted. And I felt myself gaining weight. I wasn't feeling well. I was at the time also suffering from chronic chest pain. I was fatigued, very low energy, and I just didn't feel good. And I was sick of feeling sick, as I always say. And I knew I had to get healthy. I didn't exactly know what that meant, but I knew I wanted to make some changes in my life. So, I just started with, not having as many desserts. I then moved on to not eating any mystery meat from the dining halls. I stopped having cheese and too much dairy. And then eventually I stumbled across a documentary called Forks Over Knives. If you haven't watched it, anyone who's listening, it's basically a documentary about the health benefits of a plant-based diet. And it just blew my mind and opened my eyes to the idea that diet is so interconnected to your health and disease prevention and your overall well-being. And I was nervous because I was in a college dorm and I obviously had limited resources. I didn't have a ton of money. I didn't have a car to go grocery shopping, but I really wanted to give a plant-based diet a try. And I did. And I was microwaving sweet potatoes in my dorm. I made the salad bar in the dining hall my best friend. I was making these giant salads every day. I would take fruit from the dining halls and I would stuff it in my backpack and then bring it back to my dorm. And I made this big fruit bowl with like apples, oranges, bananas, things that wouldn't go bad, food that I wouldn't need a fridge for. And I just made it work for myself. And after 4 months of eating a plant-based diet in the dorms, I had lost 20 pounds. My chest pain that I had suffered from previously went away. I had way more energy than ever before. My skin got clearer. My hair was growing like crazy. And I just felt amazing. And I am still plant-based to this day. And now, I help other people transition to a plant-based diet by sharing all of my recipes and meal ideas and plant-based inspiration on social media. So that's kind of my vegan story in a nutshell.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing this. This is great story and example of someone being in a situation in college where is like your option is limited and still be able to make the change. And I want to point here how many changes happen in your life when you was vegan for 4 months and even your chest pain. Could you please explain a little bit like why do you think your chest pain is gone away? Why do you think your skin cleans up? So what is so magical you think is happen when you go fully plant-based?
I think that, well, first of all, I went to a lot of doctors. I just want to say that. I went to a ton of doctors, a gastro, I went to a heart doctor because my chest pain was, kind of by my sternum. So, I was like, is it my heart? Is it my stomach? I really didn't know. So, no doctor could really help me. They just wanted to, maybe put me on medication, but they didn't have any kind of concrete advice or lifestyle changes that could help me. They didn't indicate that, hey, maybe you should try changing what you're eating and see if that affects your chest pain. So I honestly thought I would just have to live with it for the rest of my life. But I realized once I switched to a plant-based diet, I was eliminating foods that cause a lot of inflammation. I was eliminating foods that are very acidic because animal products, meat, dairy, eggs, they're very acidic in the body. And that was causing my chest pain. I can't tell you, I can't pinpoint exactly what it was, but obviously it was creating an issue within my body where I was having a physical medical issue. And ever since I switched to eating a plant-based diet, and when I say plant-based diet, I don't mean eating like frozen vegan packaged food or like unhealthy, like I'm not eating Oreos and frozen vegan pizza. I was eating greens and beans and whole grains and fruit and like unlimited. I was eating, a smoothie for breakfast and a salad for lunch and like big yummy burrito bowls for dinner with a ton of beans. So when I say plant-based, I really mean I was eating like clean food that you would find in nature. And I really think that's how we are intended to eat. And obviously my body really benefited from it. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a trend. I, interview so many people right here on the podcast who went vegan, and then some of the diseases, different ones, goes away. And I'm trying to see if we could really put money and do a medical research because this is a trend. Everyone suffered from something, and then plant-based diet is changed their lives. And I want to point on that. So anyone who listen us and maybe suffer and have any, medical problems, you can try. And then now it's easy to try because you have like you bloggers, who are post the recipes and stuff like that. But back then, how you actually come up with all those recipes and find out how you can eat being vegan?
That's a really good question. So I basically take my favorite things and I veganize them. So whether it's mac and cheese, pizza, tacos, burrito bowls, ice cream, brownies, I just try to figure out a way to veganize my favorite things, which also happen to be everyone else's favorite things. And I find a way to veganize them and then make them taste as good as the version with animal products, if not better. For example, I make like a yummy vegan mac and cheese, but I use like cashews and sweet potatoes, or I'll do tacos, but I'll do black beans and I'll saute them in taco seasoning, or I'll make stir fry and I'll use tofu instead of chicken. Like, honestly, I'm not doing anything crazy or complicated. And this is what I tell people: plant-based eating does not have to be hard. It can be as simple as I said, swapping out tofu instead of chicken in a stir fry, and that's it. And you now have a plant-based stir fry. And they sell vegan egg that you could add into the stir fry, and obviously vegetables and rice. And then something like a brownie recipe. There are a million vegan brownie recipes online, but I have a chickpea brownie recipe. So they're actually healthy brownies because they have chickpeas in them as the base, but they taste like the most amazing brownies ever. So I really just try to take the foods everyone loves and I veganize them. And that's really how I come up with my ideas.
Yeah, and it's a common thing, and I really think it's helpful for anyone out there who want to try it out. Just, make a one meal in a day, your favorite meal, and try to make it vegan, just one. And
A
that's gonna
hundred
be
percent.
yeah, and it's gonna be already like a big step to save our planet. Because right now, when we're talking about being vegan, it's not only about health. We really know, and guys who listen to us, you can do your research. We're not gonna spend time for that, but our planet is suffer from um, industry of meat and dairy production. So we really have to step forward and at least add more plant-based products, right?
100%. And as you said, it can be just one meal a day. I suggest starting with breakfast. Like, if you're not vegan already, just take your breakfast and veganize it. And that can be oatmeal, avocado toast, a smoothie, whether it's a fruit smoothie or more of like a chocolatey protein smoothie. You can do like a vegan tofu scramble. Honestly, there are a million different breakfasts you could make, and just start with that. And then once you're confident in your vegan breakfasts, then move on to having a vegan lunch every day, so that you're having a vegan breakfast and a vegan lunch. And once you feel confident with that, you can add on your dinner. And then before you know it, you're eating vegan. But I think doing it gradually can be really helpful for people, because it can be very overwhelming if you try to overhaul your diet all at one time. It also depends on the context, like where you're starting. If you're someone who's eating McDonald's 3 times a day and not cooking for yourself, it's going to be much more difficult to get to a place where you're cooking plant-based for yourself 3 times a day. Or you could be someone who's starting, maybe you're already vegetarian and it's not that big of a jump for you. So wherever you're at in your journey, I think transitioning to a plant-based diet gradually can be really helpful. But if you are starting at a point that's a little more difficult, it's okay if you're not perfect, or if you mess up, or if you are vegan 3 days and then maybe have a day that you didn't eat a plant-based diet. Like, that's okay. Being vegan is about doing your best, and eating a plant-based diet is about just doing your best, whether you're doing it for your health or if you're doing it for the animals. It is not about perfection. It's just about trying your best, which is a message I always try to get across.
Yes, exactly. I like that you mentioned this point. This is problem I got with a lot of my clients. They come to me not being not only being not being vegan, not only healthy eaters, like having like really struggle with just the health proper nutritions. And I start with just clean it up to normal. And then if they're interested to slowly introduce some vegan options. And again, like just just today in the morning, I got a call from my client like saying, "Oh my God, I messed up. Yesterday I ate brownie." And like, you're not messing up or anything. You just ate brownie. Stop like, and she's, "I'm not vegan anymore." You know what I mean? Like, if you are wanna be vegan, it doesn't mean you cannot do mistakes. We all do. Even I can buy something sometimes and just eat it. And then like realize like, let's say it has honey and I already ate that. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, but I mess up too. We all humans, right? I think um, people just scary to take responsibility of saying I am fully vegan. You know what I mean? So you don't need to take this responsibility. You don't. No one is gonna ask you if you don't want to. Just add some more plant-based whole nutritions into your diet. That's gonna be the greatest option. And thank you so much for bringing it up. This is really good. And
And
then
I
friends, yeah, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say for the last point, I feel like the mentality is when you do maybe accidentally or on purpose eat something that's not on your diet or within a plant-based or vegan diet, your automatic response is to quit and give up because you messed up. And this is the problem with the dieting mentality, is that you need to be perfect. And if you just practice straying away from that, the next time, maybe like your client said, they ate a brownie, instead of having that mentality where, oh, screw it, I already ate a brownie today, I might as well have an unhealthy dinner, and like I'm just going to eat whatever I want the rest of the day because I already messed up, so the day is already ruined. If you actually practice like, okay, I had a brownie, great, I enjoyed it, it was a treat, it was amazing, I'm going to move on, I'm going to cook myself a really healthy dinner, and I'm going to get back on track. If you do
Absolutely.
that,
Yeah.
those times where you have a brownie or you have pizza or you have a bagel or whatever it is, and it's so okay to have those things, if you got on track and back on track after doing that every single time, instead of just giving up, you're in a much better place. And then you can actually enjoy the times where you had a treat.
Yes, absolutely. And don't feel guilty about that.
Don't feel guilty, because you don't
Yeah.
need to feel guilty. I have treats all the time. I have some kind of vegan dessert every day, whether it's like a vegan peanut butter cup after dinner or like a little bit of vegan ice cream or some like dark chocolate chips. I love having just like a handful of chocolate chips, or I'll even
Mhm.
make popcorn and put dark chocolate chips in it. So good.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. And how you actually came out with an idea about Healthy Girl Kitchen. It's a big deal. So could you tell us a little bit more about that?
So I actually, when I graduated from college, I went to nutrition school and I became certified as a holistic health coach because I really wanted to start a health coaching practice and help other people transition to a plant-based diet and have clients and help them one-on-one achieve the same kind of results that I achieved by going plant-based. So that's what I did right after I graduated from college, and I started my health coaching business. I was getting clients, but at the same time where I was getting clients, I created an Instagram and I created my blog, my website, where I started posting recipes. But this was purely for my clients. Again, I had no intention to monetize my business in terms of posting on social media. It was just so that my clients had like easy, accessible recipes to go to. So I wasn't just like typing them out to them over text or email. And before I knew it, my blog was getting thousands and thousands of people to it a month. My Instagram was gaining followers. I was getting reached out to by brands asking to send me PR packages or sponsor my recipes. And this just kind of opened my eyes to the idea that I could have a career as a food blogger. And I've always loved to cook. I'm by no means a chef. I always say that because sometimes people call me a chef and I'm like, no. I didn't go to culinary school. I'm not a chef, but I am a girl who loves to cook. And I've always loved to cook. And so I really just fell in love with the content creation side of things and the creativity that went behind posting recipes. And even more so now, I love making video content because a couple of years ago, pictures were still the primary entertainment on Instagram, and now there's TikTok and Instagram Reels. And so I'm really loving making the videos. But anyway, I realized that instead of health coaching people one-on-one, if I changed my career over to food blogging full time, I could help thousands, millions of people go plant-based by sharing on social media, and I could help so many more people that way. So last year, 2020, I decided to start food blogging full time. And last year in, I believe it was like April, I made my TikTok account, and now I have over 1 million followers. So it's pretty wild. My business didn't used to be called Healthy Girl Kitchen, but once I kind of shifted over from health coaching to food blogging, I changed my name to Healthy Girl Kitchen. And yeah, here we are. Healthy Girl Kitchen is going strong, and I love doing it every day.
Awesome. That's amazing. I'm so happy you decided to do that because I'm kind of on the same spot. I'm working with people one-on-one, but that's amazing that you can, you know, work with thousands of millions of people just by posting your recipes. And I think you have an amazing talent to make them easy. That's the best thing. Because I love to
Thank
cook,
you.
but I don't like when it's too complicated. When it's more than, 7 or 10 ingredients, I'm like, oh, I better look for the other recipe. You know what I mean? So
Oh, I'm
your
with you.
recipe, yeah, your recipe is super easy, guys. So you better go ahead and check her Instagram and TikTok as well. And I will put the description down below, all your links, of course. But could you tell us just, for some idea, what is your favorite high in protein vegan recipe for today?
Okay, so this is very fitting because I just posted a new recipe today for an edamame hummus. And usually hummus is traditionally made with chickpeas or garbanzo beans, but I lately have been making hummus with edamame because they have like 3 times the protein as chickpeas. I think there's 17 grams of protein per cup of edamame. So you can actually
Wow.
make hummus with that. It makes the best snack. Obviously, hummus isn't a meal, but if you dip veggies in it, crackers, whatever you want, it makes the best snack. And in terms of a meal, I love making tofu chickpea chicken nuggets. That's my favorite.
Wow. And then you have a recipe for that too?
I do. If you go to my website, healthygirlkitchen.com, look up my chickpea chicken nugget recipe, they're amazing.
Nice. Thank you so much. That's awesome. And then could you tell us your top 5 vegan favorite proteins?
Yes. Okay. Tofu. I'm obsessed with tofu, and I didn't always used to love tofu. Lentils, chickpeas. Hmm. This is a tough one. Probably like hemp seeds. Are we categorizing that as a protein?
Yeah.
Can be protein. Love hemp
Mm-hmm.
seeds. And maybe I'll put in the same category like flax, chia, and hemp.
Mm-hmm.
I like tempeh, but it has to be made right because
Mm-hmm.
tempeh isn't always good, but there are like a couple ways to make it that make it amazing. Like if you look up a tempeh bacon recipe, it's so good. And then you can make a instead of a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, you could make a tempeh lettuce tomato sandwich, and it's so good.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Can you tell me what is going to be the hardest part? What was with you like on this way to transition from personal coaching to being full-time blogger? This is a hard transition. So could you tell like what's things you overcome and you wish know before you decide to do that? What was the hardest part? Because we have so many people doing different stuff around the world, and I know they want to be doing like vlogging or they want to do something they love, but they scared, right? So could you give your experience on that?
I would say number one, it's just taking that leap of faith. So I decided I wanted to food blog full time, but that was me saying, okay, I'm going to jump right into this. And even though I started to see an income from food blogging, I wasn't where I'm at now. So I took the leap of faith that I was going to be making a livable income off of it. But my advice would be that if you are going to take a leap of faith in your career, I would just say you have to be passionate about whatever you do. And every day when you go to work or do your job, like put your 100% heart and soul into it. And I promise you will see the benefits and you can manifest your dream life. It sounds cheesy, but I really believe that if you put out what's in your heart and what you love to do, you will attract that energy right back. And I think for people who want to be content creators, I always get asked, like, how can I be a food blogger like you? Or even if, you're not a food blogger, how do I start a TikTok page? Or how do I get followers on Instagram? I find that the questions are always led with, how can I make money being a content creator? And how can I get a lot of followers like you? And these are the wrong questions to ask. Because if you lead with those things, that's not going to bring people. You need to ask, how can I provide value to people? And what do I love so much that I want to put out into the world for people to see? So for me, I love cooking and showing people healthy, easy, plant-based recipes. And one sec, sorry, my husband's just getting home from work.
It's okay.
Yeah. And for me, I always ask, what kind of value can I provide to someone? So before I post a recipe or a video, whatever it is, I'm like, what kind of value can I provide? And I always try to put forth the most value. So if you lead with that, and you have to be unselfish. So if you're asking, how can I make money? How can I get followers? No. Like, it's not about you yet. You have to ask, what can I give to people? And then once you're giving and giving value, I promise you'll see the return.
Amazing. Yes. Oh man, I love it. That was so good. And before I let you go, I have a one signature questions I ask everyone. What you're gonna do is, if it's gonna be the last day of your life on this earth,
What would I do, or what would I eat?
what do you do? I don't know. Maybe you're gonna eat. I have no
Okay, yeah,
idea.
I would definitely eat. Okay, that's a tough question. Definitely spend it with my friends and my family and my husband. Just be surrounded by everyone I love. And this is hard. I love going on walks. I'd probably take a walk by the ocean. I would probably go to all my favorite restaurants. I don't know, probably just like be with the people I love most and like just laugh. I love laughing and like spending time with my friends, just being goofy and silly and laughing about the dumbest things. So, yeah, I feel like just spending it with loved ones and eating, which is probably what I do on a daily basis anyway.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. And I have a small game that I play before I let you go. So I'm gonna say two things and you should choose one. Sounds good?
Okay, I'm ready.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Black or purple?
Black.
Gym or outdoor workouts?
Outdoors.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Juice or smoothie?
Smoothie.
Wine or water?
Water.
Chocolate or sweet cream?
Chocolate.
Kiss or hug?
Depends who it is, but probably a hug.
Okay, love or sex?
Let's do both.
Love it. Great, great. Okay, thank you so much for being so honest with me. And I cannot be more thankful for you finding time, because I know you're busy. And by the way, I love your podcast as well. And I want to
Oh,
hear
thank
more
you.
episodes. Yeah, I listened to that and I don't know what's happened, but I don't hear new episodes coming up. So we all wait for that too, right?
Yes, it's so hard balancing everything as a content creator. There's always something new out there, and there's this pressure, to be on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, the list goes on, Snapchat, and then, you have the podcast. So I'm hoping to come out with a new season of the podcast soon, but I'm so
Yeah.
glad you listened to it. That makes my day.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys also go ahead and check the Healthy Girl Kitchen podcast. She have an amazing guest as well. And thank you so much for joining me today. And again, you can find all the information about Danielle down in the description below. So follow her amazing recipes. I really enjoy them too. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.